you decide whether you are eating late breakfast, so you have to skip lunch, or you are eating late in the afternoon, so you can skip dinner. Okay, so those initial day, and then you get used to it and everything. But in my experience, success is directly proportional to hard work. It's simple math. It is simple math. Luck plays a great role, but as you continue to work hard, the luck will continue to increase.
So great evening, I'll say, audience from India, and of course, great morning for people in US. Of course, people are going to watch the recording, not the live interaction. But it's such a pleasure for me to have Pratyush Kumar as the guest for today's interaction, today's heart-to-heart conversation. I've been trying to get Pratyush into this heart-to-heart conversation for last some time, and I knew that it's very important for me to talk to Pratyush because anybody who from India who comes from a small town or village or say a small city, small town, and gets a feeling that it's very difficult or impossible to leave your country, go outside, and set up your own organization must watch this conversation because Pratyush has exactly done that. Anybody who gets a feeling that despite while being in this world of social media and artificial intelligence and a lot of things which we see happening on our handsets around us on television news channels and internet, anybody who gets a feeling that despite being in this kind of environment, the age old qualities of focus, uh, persistence, perseverance, consistency, hard work, real hard work have started losing their meaning, must watch this conversation because I am saying this with personal experience. I know Pratyush since 1990s, and we are talking over, I think, after 25, more than 25 years. I know that Pratyush has been one of those people who had a very unwavering focus on what he wanted to do. I'm talking about the days of engineering college where it's so easy for many people to lose their track. So it's an amazing experience for me to be hosting Pratyush Kumar. He is the he's the Chief Executive Officer of a company called FusionStak LLC. It's a company based in New Orleans. I'm speaking from Pune, from Walker, very close to Walker. There is a place called Hinjewadi IT Park, and there are many IT parks here in this city, beautiful city of Pune. I had this privilege of going to one of these IT parks in 2019 and talk to the employees. You can see, I think audience can see the picture of some of these employees. I had this opportunity to talk to them, and that was the time. It's a beautiful office in one of the hottest IT parks in Pune. And that day I decided that someday I'm going to invite the CEO and founder of this organization called FusionStak to this heart-to-heart conversation. Of course, this conversation started much later, but I'm so happy to welcome Pratyush. Thank you so much for joining. It's because of people like you that I get this little opportunity to kind of, in a very humble way, showcase to people that every person has got a lot to share, a lot to inspire the world from. It's just that at times we get so busy in our life and career and journey that we do not get time to be talking to each other. I'm so happy to have you as the guest in this conversation. So, Pratyush, it has been a long journey, a beautiful journey. And of course, audience, I think I need to tell you a bit more about Pratyush. Pratyush did his mechanical engineering from BIT Mishra, Ranchi, Birla Institute of Technology, Mishra. And then Pratyush joined Tata Steel from the campus. And Pratyush, as I know him, has not been a person who's going to be at one place, be in one company. And of course, it's a great company. Many people are still working in Tata Steel, and it's a great company. But as I know, Pratyush, he is one of those people who always would be testing his limits and boundaries. He went to USA to do his master's degree in management, information systems and services from Louisiana State University, which he did in 2002. Between 2000 and 2002, he was studying in Louisiana State University. And then Pratyush joined as team lead, a company called CIBR, where he was there for more than 4 years. Then a company called Saint St. James Parish, where he worked for more than 4 years. And then Pratyush founded this great organization called FusionStak LLC in the year 2015. And just to give you some idea, it's a company which has been into various verticals. We're going to talk a bit about this organization. But just to give one example, this company has created electronic warrant solutions, for example, which is one of the flagship products of the organization. It's an application which is currently used by more than 250 law enforcement agencies, I mean federal government agencies, by various countries. And Pratyush, with this, before audience start saying that it's not you that we want to hear Pratyush, let me move on to you, Pratyush. So, Pratyush, once again, thank you so much. So, Pratyush, when you look back on your journey, which are those initial few thoughts which come to your mind? I know it must be wintry morning on this beautiful Sunday in New Orleans. Anything and everything which you want to share is most welcome. Once again, thanks.
Sure,
And yes,
sure.
we want to hear.
First of all, Arun, thanks for taking some time and having this conversation. It is always great to meet old friends. Okay, just a pleasure. And our friendship is long way back. Correct. We just some fun facts. Uh, Me and Arun used to travel in our local Bihar bus and traveling from Sindri to Ranchi and enjoying all the flavors of life between 5 a.m. in the morning and 11 a.m. till we reach BID Mesra. Okay. So
Yeah,
good old
yeah,
days. Okay.
absolutely.
So to thanks for all the good words. Okay. We are still uh, the we are a small company in Louisiana. It's a beautiful journey. Still long way to go. We have a setup here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We have an office in Pune, as Arun is mentioning. Thanks for this beautiful background picture. I came
Yeah.
here in and thanks. I'm looking pretty young. Looks like not too many gray hair at that time. Uh, So
Yeah.
I came to did my bachelor's Mesra, then joined Tata Steel. Um, Beautiful experience in Tata Steel. Then wanted to pursue some higher studies. Came here in Louisiana. Did my masters. Never left Louisiana. I think the food and the climate of Louisiana. Anybody who comes here, once they start eating Louisiana food, it's hard to leave. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Uh, Gone worked in private firm. Then mostly I have worked with the local state and local government in Louisiana and throughout the country. So most of our work is in the government sector. Okay.
Mm.
uh, so lots of ups and downs. Right now we have this company, we have multiple products. We are product driven company. We build product to optimize the workflow of the state and local government. And we are trying to slowly grow and see how we can impact some lives during this journey. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, absolutely. So audience, I think you might have got this idea that Pratyush comes from rather Pratyush and me, both of us, and of course some more people who are going to watch this conversational video. We come from a very small town called Sindri, which is in eastern part of India in the state of Jharkhand. That time it was Bihar and Jharkhand, I think, put together. They both were joined. And I recall some of those bus journeys which used to go through some of these roads full of potholes. And in the morning, you take a break, you do not know what to eat, and kind of some breakfast which you have. And then you, by the time reach BIT Mishra, which of course was and is a beautiful campus, you are still, that you are going to take some time before you get out of that smell, smell of fuel which you have which you got used to while being in the bus. So those were the days Pratyush is talking about. And Pratyush, many people who joined one of these companies from the campus and they're still there with the companies. Nothing bad, I think nothing wrong. It's all a great journey, I'm pretty sure. Having said that, I also know that since I've been in this field over last some time, I also know that it takes a lot of hard work. lot of courage, a lot of, I think, a big ability to break. Of course, I don't want to sound like in a speaking, I'm not speaking cliche, but these are actually the facts of life. A big ability to break comforts and comfort zones. And of course, being fearless, and while having some of these qualities, one also has got to work a lot, especially while dealing with government agencies. I know that anybody who has got any organization might feel challenged, especially if I say based on my experience of India. I think they might feel challenged while even thinking of dealing with government agencies. And of course, you are dealing with many government people in USA, where the rules must be very stringent. And while creating a company and while facing some of the challenges, when you look back on your journey and see that you have been actually adding a lot of value to the lives of many people, almost more than 250 government agencies are working with you. Pretty sure it must be a very challenging and very enriching journey, indeed, Pratyush. So, would you like to say something about those days in 2000 when you first time decided to leave the comforts of this beautiful city called Jampot? I mean, that's the name which people used to give to the city of Jamshedpur. I'm pretty sure that I think many of our friends who were studying in BIT Mishra, they were from Jamshedpur. And I know, I think people, anybody who has been to Jamshedpur knows it's a beautiful city. I still recall one statement which Pratyush had shared. Of course, I do not want to sound like very formal, but I think it said something which I still recall. Remember, he said that Arun, it's very difficult to break the bond of this beautiful city called Jamshedpur. It's a beautiful, I don't want to use the word, kind of, honey, a beautiful trap, which is very difficult, which makes it very difficult for people to even think of living the comforts and the life of Jamshedpur and Tata Steel, which again is a great organization. How did you muster courage and how did you, for the first time, think of living the place, the country, and the company and go to a zone where nobody knew how it's going to shape up? New Orleans, of course, we are talking about the days or times before you tasted this nice, tasty food of Louisiana. So, how did this whole thought process start taking shape?
Sure, sure. As it's common saying, people call Jamshedpur Bombay of Bihar. At that time,
Yeah,
it was Bihar. Now it is Jharkhand. So it
yeah,
was not an easy decision. It was not an easy decision. People who lives in Jamshedpur or who worked in Tata Steel, they
yeah,
understand the comfort and the proud of being associated with Tata in India is entirely different thing. Okay.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So it was not an easy decision, but I really wanted to pursue some higher studies. So I wrote GRE. It was difficult to study after a gap of 3 years working in Tata Steel.
Yeah,
Uh, but I was lucky enough that I got some decent score and I got full scholarship from LSU.
mm,
So I came to LSU to do my masters. It was a very difficult decision in the sense is we were making very good money in Tata Steel, uh, had the luxury of life, and now you are switching back again to a student life. I remember landing in Baton Rouge with one suitcase and four pair of clothes and some few dollars in the pocket and had no clue where to start. When I landed in Baton Rouge, one of our old college Mesa friend, two of them were here. So they helped me pick up from the airport. But other than that, I knew nobody. But slowly, as they call, this
yeah,
place will always help you
yeah,
embrace.
yeah,
We and then you find a lot of good people. They always help. The school was great, and slowly get used to the life in US.
yeah,
But initial 6 month was tough. uh, Getting into the school was tough. Getting into the life where before spending every dollar you are doing multiplication of 50 and 60. At that time the rate was 50 and 60. So every time you will buy a sandwich, you will multiply by 50 and then say, oh, should I buy it or should I eat half of it? So those are the student life, right? So you ride a bike, you eat, you decide whether you are eating late breakfast, so you have to skip lunch, or you are eating late in the afternoon, so you can skip dinner. Okay, so those initial day, and then you get used to it, and then the life
Yeah.
becomes slowly becomes easy.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's how it all started.
Yeah.
I really always wanted to do some higher studies. I personally think that people should always try to study and get more and more
Mm.
education. I
Mm.
still one day would. I came here to do my PhD, but I was not able to finish PhD. I did my masters and started
Yeah.
working, but I still one day feel to go back and finish my PhD, maybe sometime soon. Yes, this is a picture when I am visiting San Francisco.
Wow. Wow.
I think I don't remember, around, I will say around 2010, I guess 10 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I can try to guess the year by looking at the weight of my good friend Roger. He has reduced 200 pounds by now, and all the gray hairs now we have.
So you have seen a
So
lot of
all
changes. No? You have seen, no, sorry, just to take 30 seconds. You have seen a lot of changes. For example, you have seen the rupee changing its value in comparison with dollar. You have seen Rajat changing. So I think it again once again reminds me that we are talking after a long time, and I think a lot of water has flowed beneath that river bridge, which used to fall between BIT Mission and Ranchi, which used to cross every weekend, every second weekend. Great. So, things audience here, and then of course we'll listen to Pratyush. First thing is that often in our life and career we do not pay attention to building a strong, relationships and friendships. I don't want to sound very formal, but I think some of these friends that were taught that we can see in the backdrop, well, it all was a very natural friendship, right? It all developed in BIT Mission in a very natural way. And I think I don't know anybody might ever have used this word called friendship, but I think it was very natural, very deep bond which God created. And what I've seen is that without even knowing, we start helping each other. So the power of company, जो हिंदी में बोलते हैं संगत, that is very important. I can see one comparison that I can see one correlation that even in those times, I'm talking about 1993, 1997, Pratyush was in the company of people where most of the people had already thought of, they had decided to go outside India. That's the power of the people who surround you, because without knowing, also at times at a very subconscious level, we start getting, creating bonds with people who actually shape our thought process, our life and career. And so that's the first thing. It's very important for us to build those strong bonds without seeking anything in return. It just happens naturally. That's what I'm saying. It's very important for us to value friendships, because I think this picture was taken in 2010. What it means is that this was taken after at least 13 to 14 years after Pratyush had left BIT Mishra, had graduated from there, and still he has been maintaining those bonds. When I went through your Facebook profile, Pratyush, I saw many such pictures of you being surrounded by friends, and I think that says a lot about the person that we're talking to. And this is, frankly speaking, honestly speaking, this is one quality which I think many of us, including me, would have cultivated. We often get so busy in our life and career that we do not value old friends and relations and some of the things which are very important in life and career. That's the first thing. Second thing is that, Pratyush, I think very nicely you explained those moments, those days when you had to take this tough decision to leave Jamshedpur, the comforts of the city, which I think, of course, must have been alluring to many people. I know many of our friends who are still there in Jamshedpur and they are leading a very good life, but I think those moments were must have been very tough. Pratyush, when people talk about building their own company and creating something on their own, of course, you also had this option of working in some of these organizations, IT-based organizations, which you had joined after graduating from Louisiana State University. So now let's come to the second stage, second very important stage in your career and life. How did it feel in 2015 when you decided to leave the company in which you had been working and then create your own company, your own organization? That must have been an equally tough decision. Though you had got used to Louisiana food and culture and environment and the weather, but I'm pretty sure it must have been very, very difficult decision for you to take. Let's talk a bit about 2014, 2015.
Sure. Before we get there, one point.
Yeah.
What Arun said, friendship is so important. Okay, maintaining the relationship is absolutely absolutely. You always make new friends, but always try to preserve your old friendship. Okay, the being surrounded with good friends will take you long places. It's
Yeah.
not just about professional life and getting success. It's about connecting with the people. It's about sharing ideas. It's about sharing emotions. uh,
Absolutely.
last month itself we celebrated Rajat's 50th birthday. We all were there. It was a great fun, and all
Wow.
the pictures that you are seeing, all of them were there, and we celebrated Rajat's 50th birthday. Okay,
Yeah, I saw.
so
I could see
so
many pictures. Just to yeah, this is another picture which I saw with Rajat being there. So it's very clear that you have maintained those connections, which is such a beautiful and such an important thing for us to do, and it's all for happiness, joy, and goodness of life. Yeah, please.
it is now coming back to starting the own company. I always wanted to do it. uh, I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to get that opportunity to do it. And one important thing to remember for everybody who will listen, people always talk about luck and everything, but in my experience, success is directly proportional to hard work. It's simple math. It is simple math. Luck plays a great role, but as you continue to work hard, the luck will continue to increase. Okay,
Mm.
it's is as simple as that. Okay, so it's a simple math formula. No, there is no rocket science in that. So continue to work hard. As you are working, if you are extremely lucky, you will get success in 1 year. If you are less lucky, you will get success in 2 years or 3 years, but you will be successful if you will continue to work hard. Okay, so continue to work hard, get up every day, give your 100%, and I can guarantee you will be successful. Okay, then
Wow.
there is no other solution to it. Okay,
Wow.
so now coming back to the it's never easy. Before 2015, uh, I started another venture, miserably failed. And failed means miserably failed. I had no money even to pay my mortgage. And thanks to my spouse and my friends, again the family and the friends comes into the play. And during that dark time, they helped me. And they said, Prat, go ahead, try again, and we are here to support you. And then I tried again, and this time I'm somewhat successful. So it was not an easy decision. It was, but I had this passion to do something, which is not the normal. Okay, I'm always a risk taker. I always like to. If you will ask me to do one thing, it is hard for me to do it. If you'll ask me to do 10 things, I'm pretty good at that. Uh, so I always had that risk taking, and also I had the passion to go and do something. And and how to build a community where we all working together for the betterment of the people. Okay, so anybody you will go and talk to who have ever started a company, even not started a company, you are doing a job. At the end of the day, people wants to see how their process improves, how the people gets impacted by what they're doing. um, it was a tough decision. It was hard to leave the comfort of getting paycheck every 2 weeks and taking this plunge. But again, the friends and families were there. It is important to have good friends and supporting family. And then you slowly start. So I started by getting one small work that lead to another. Um, I wrote the started writing the application, the product that we have, Cloud Gavel. I wrote majority of the code for that. Then I got other good partners and friend who helped slowly start to sell it, and that's how the journey started.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, audience, let me share a couple of connections here. Of course, I do not. I'm the first person who never compares people. I always tell that everybody has got his or her own unique abilities. Just that we have got to do hard work and we have to follow some of the things which Pratyush has already spoken about. I was reading this. I was just hearing this, listening to on Audible, the book written by Indra Nooyi, and she was explaining the first few days of her landing in USA. And Pratyush, I could see exactly similar experiences. I always tell people that, as Pratyush also said, people become big, and in their own way, we all are successful. We all achieve success. There is no comparison. But I can see that resonance in between different stories. Pratyush spoke about hard work. Indra Nooyi used to get up at 4 o'clock, and she has written very clearly that I knew that I am from India. I am a lady, I am a woman, so it's going to be lot more challenging for me, especially before she became the CEO of PepsiCo. And the only thing which is in my hand is to do hard work. And she used to sleep at 12 o'clock and used to get up at 4 o'clock. She used to leave for the club to play her lawn tennis, which was a regular routine for her. And Pratyush, for some reason, I always get a feeling that simplest of things which are important for success or happiness or health or for any important things which is important for all of us in life and career are also the things which differentiate people. For example, I have been doing some programs in the morning hours where I invite some of the people from corporates to join me at 5:30 because it's all about people who want to control their anger, who want to be good with people, who want to be calmer, who want to who want to be people who know themselves better. But I also know that out of 10 people who will get the invitation, only 2 people will actually join in the morning, maybe 2 or 3 people, not more than that. When you talk about hard work, Pratyush, let's listen to you about your hard work. I know I have got some information, some idea that you are a person who is every day, you are early in the morning, be it Monday or be it Sunday. Let's listen to you because I'm pretty sure it's going to inspire people. It's something simple, but it's not easy. Yeah.
So the hard work is very, very important. Hard work and have some discipline in life. Okay. And if you do not value time, uh, time will not value you. Okay. So it is important to value time. So as per my habit, I still get up around 5 a.m. in the morning. Uh, now I think I'm getting a little bit old. So on Saturday and Sunday, I wake up around 6. But on every weekdays, I still wake up at 5 in the morning. I still go to even in US, I still go to Times of India and NDTV and read the Indian newspaper first,
Okay.
even after 23 years, uh, and then start my day. Lately, I have got into doing some yoga exercise and everything in the morning, and then get into the daily grind that I call it. Okay. It is important. It is important to see how you are learning. And sometimes you will pick up small things from your kids. Okay. So my older daughter, I she is fond of reading. So
Right.
I picked up reading from her.
Yeah.
She will read, she's an avid reader. She will read maybe 30, 40 books in a year. Uh, my competition is at least I read 5 in a year. Uh, so but at least I decided that I will read. So it was not an easy. So I started by using audiobook. Now
Yeah.
I'm switching to reading a book. So try to find something. It is important to have a hobby that will help you get distracted from all the pressure. It is important. What happens is there are certain small things that I have learned, which I will share with you guys to manage our stress. We all have stress.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we see is we come back from office, and if we are stressed, we say we are stressed. We don't want to do anything. We want to sit at home and watch TV. Okay. That's the worst possible decision you will make. Okay. So the best thing is you go out of the house. If you just go for a walk, if you have a pet, play with the pet. You play with your kids. Do not sit at home. Okay. If you sit at home, you think you are not thinking about the work and watching TV, but your brain is thinking about that, and it's always working, and it's creating a pressure. Okay, which you will not know till the doctor will advise you the blood pressure medicine. Okay. So the point is Get out of the house, do something, find a hobby, and try to manage your stress. In today's life, everybody has stress. Okay, you cannot
Yeah.
escape stress. You have to figure out how to manage stress. Try to see, I still have big to-do list. Every day, I now we are used to all smartphones, so I was making the to-do list in my smartphone so that I don't forget it. Have some to-do list, work hard. And if you are working hard every day, have some discipline in life. And if you're not successful, you can reach out to me and we can discuss that. I think this formula will never ever fail. Okay, it is just a matter of time. Whatever field you are in, make sure you
Yeah.
do hard work. It's just a matter of time you'll be successful.
Beautiful, beautiful, Pratyush. Very beautifully said. And on a lighter as well as on a sincere note, audience, in case you happen to be from India, the simplest and the easiest way for you to cut down on a stress and to also see that you actually do not experience too much of a stress is to join my morning programs at 5:30. Just come and join, no questions asked, because that's the goal. The goal is to see that people start building some of these things which are proactive in nature, which are all about focus, calmness, concentration, and happiness. Great. And this is a lighter note. Thank you so much, Pratyush. I think coming from you is very valuable. Before we move on, one quick question. You may decide not to answer this. So Elon Musk talks about I don't know 100 hours. PM Modi today, the election results are out in India. All three states, I think BJP has done so well, and people often keep on talking about the number of hours of sleep which he gets. Somebody says that he sleeps for 3 to 4 hours. So let's talk about the number of hours which you might be putting per week. In case you want, you may decide not to answer this. What is the number of hours? And of course, Narayan Murthy has spoken about this. Narayan Murthy has spoken about the fact that today's youth should work for 70 hours. And there are people on LinkedIn who are saying that this is not correct. Now, people also know that Mr. Murthy is talking about building nation and he is a visionary. He is speaking from his own platform, which is absolutely correct. How many hours of work, Pratyush, you put in? Because I know that you are a very
So
hardworking person here.
so it see the what is important is, and I will give you the numbers. So what is important is not the number of hours. What is important is the productive hours that you are putting.
Yes.
Okay. And the other important thing that people say that you should sleep 6 hours, you should sleep 8 hours, or somebody say 4 hours. Every body is different. Okay.
Different.
Every body is different. Somebody is fully functional by 4 hours sleep. Somebody needs 8 hours of sleep. Okay. The important thing to kill this culture of sitting in the office or for 10 12 hours to show that you are committed to the work. Okay, that's the one culture which is bad, which is pretty prevalent everywhere. That needs to go away. I think working from home is sometime cutting it. I don't think that during COVID anybody complained about the lack of productivity during work from home. People definitely talked about lack of innovation and teamwork, which was getting hampered working from home, but nobody challenged the productivity. So I do not believe in working 10, 14 hours. I believe in working productive hours. I think people took Narayan Murthy's word out of context. Okay.
Yeah.
His intention, he's one of my favorite guy. His intention was very clear. What he was trying to say is it is important to put hard work. Okay.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
there is no substitute to hard work. And that was his intent. It was taken out of context. And people were talking about sleep and everything. Okay. Hey,
So
uh,
easy for
uh,
people to get distracted. Yeah.
correct. So my thing, I around 10:30 at night, I go, I watch 20 minutes of TV, some comedy serial I watch. By 11 o'clock, I sleep and I get up at 5.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. No, no, I think it's a very, very disciplined routine. And that's what I also shared with the audience that I know Pratyush since 1993 and before that also. And I know him as a person who, even while smiling and laughing and cracking jokes with friends, which he used to do pretty often, he still is a person, was a person, and has been a person who is very disciplined, very focused. I know it. So great, Pratyush. And of course, Pratyush, you spoke about your morning routine, and I think that speaks volume as how important these some of these habits are. And of course, I'm pretty sure many people from the audience might be those people, including me, including my version before 2018. who might be waking up on Saturday, Sunday at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock also. So I think what you're doing is absolutely rocking and very, very important audience. I think it's very important for people to follow a certain habit. Morning habit, morning time is something which is very powerful. Great. Pratyush, let's talk a bit about your organization. Which are the solutions which FusionStak is currently in? And then we'll come to a topic which is very important because I also know while going through the details on LinkedIn that you are making it a lot more safer for many people who might be in the field of law enforcement by having this product which is in the field of warrants. So we'll talk about it because it's such an important product which your company has launched. I think it has been some
Sure,
time.
sure,
Let's talk a bit about your company. Yeah.
sure. So uh, we company name is FusionStak, and we have other subsidiary companies. Okay, one of the company is Cloud Gavel, or which is the name of the product too. Okay, so Cloud Gavel is, and we have built several products for the law enforcement and state and local government. Cloud Gavel is one of our flagship product. So what we do with Cloud Gavel, or what the product does, is it automated the warrant generation or issuance process. Okay, and it is common throughout the world. To get a warrant, law enforcement goes and write the probable cause. This is the reason. So, for example, if a detective or a law enforcement thinks there's some kind of drug deal is going on in this house, they want to search that house. They cannot search that house without a search warrant. Okay.
Mm.
So the normal procedure is they will go, they will write a probable cause why they think they want to search this house. In US, they will go and find a duty judge. In India, they will find a district magistrate who will say, okay, yes, I'm approving this warrant. Once that warrant is approved, then they can come back and knock at the door and execute the warrant. We automated that whole process. Okay, so the law enforcement can sit in front of the house in the car, write in his laptop, send it to the judge will look at it, approve it, knock at the warrant in less than 20 minutes. Before, it was used to be 3 to 4 hour process. Okay, and we are right now in multiple states in US. We have more than, as Arun said, 250 law enforcement agencies throughout the country using it. uh, so we are, the intent here is how to make the law enforcement process efficient. So not only we can catch the bad guys, but we can give some time back to the law enforcement so they are focusing where their time needs to be and not in doing the paperwork. Okay, we one day we would like to see this technology in India too. Maybe there is already something already working in India, but this is the same common process throughout the world of getting the warrant. And the other one we have done is we have built a product for property assessment. It's the same thing. Even in India, you do the property assessment, and then based on that, you are collecting taxes.
Yeah.
In India too, you pay property tax, right?
Mm.
It's the same thing. The tool will go property tax. There are certain rules and regulations based on that. The taxes are collected, and you go and distribute the money. So, like that, we have built several products which is focused toward the state and local government. And the
Mm.
core value of the product is how to improve the process
Mm.
in any product development. Whether you are watching the Spotify music, what it is doing, it's streamlining the process of getting the music to you as fast as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same way we are building the process that will make the life of the people who are trying to serve the citizen easier so they can spend more time in serving the people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing, amazing. And I'm pretty sure, and I do hope, and not only it's a matter of hope, I'm pretty sure that you are going to offer this product to many other countries in India, to India, as well as to many countries, especially many countries in Africa and sub-African regions.
Sure.
And there are many countries where actually there must be huge need for this. I always tell the mentees, I not tell, I always share with the people who I talk to in the course of some of the work is that is always the first step or the first few steps which are the most difficult. And if people have got this ability to be consistent, and if they have got the courage, and if they have got the blessings and support from some of the people like family and friends, I think remaining steps start becoming easy. Would you like to share something on this, Pratyush? Because I'm still thinking the hard work which you must have put in your team. Of course, it must be an order of the day, I think, every day. But still, especially in the initial phase of your journey, when you might be looking for some appointment while talking to federal agencies in order to present your product and its feature, and there must be some struggle. So, do you also feel that as you start working harder, and as you start taking some steps without stopping, things become little easy in the later phase of journey? Anything from this? Because I think you're a person who has done it.
Sure,
Sure.
sure. I think if you talk to any person, whether uh, it's a 10-year-old student going to the class, or a businessman, or a salesperson, the important thing is to continuously keep trying. Okay, and always look for how you are adding value to the person. Suppose you are going and trying to sell something, so you have to clearly articulate how you are adding value
Right.
to his process, or how you are going to save his time. Okay,
Mm.
if you are not able to articulate, you can go and give some nice gift and talk nicely, and all that thing will work, but it will work till a certain extent. Okay, because at the end of the day, everybody is responsible for somebody. They have to go and answer to someone. So
Yeah.
if you are adding value, people will listen to you. Eventually, the time will come. You might not get the first success, second one, but eventually they will listen to you, because you are adding value. You are bringing
Mm.
something that will help that person. Okay,
Mm. Mm.
and save the time. Okay. The other key thing that you always have to look for, and you always have to see it, is you should always try to sell to somebody that you put yourself in that position and say, I will buy the same thing. Okay,
Mm.
and this is one of the book I was reading, uh, and it came from there, that you should always sell something that you will buy. Okay,
You bet.
so do not try to sell something that you don't want to buy it. Okay, in today's world, you cannot make, I do not want to use the word, you cannot just take anything for granted. Okay,
Yeah.
in today's world, with so much of technology, everybody has access to not only Google, now Chat GPT. uh, they will find the better alternative, if you are
Yeah.
not always competing and finding the right solution. Okay, so
Mm.
it is never easy. You have to continuously keep hammering, or you have to continuously keep trying to educate how you are adding value. Okay, if you're
Absolutely.
not adding value, you will not be able to go far. So you
Absolutely.
always have to see how you are adding value, and then you always have to take a step and see how I can keep enhancing in the value that I'm adding. Okay, so that
Absolutely.
it's always a race. The only way of winning is you have to run a little bit faster than your competition. There is no shortcut in that one. Okay, cheating, lying, making some excuses, dog ate my homework, that will may give you 1 week or 2 week, but if
Yeah.
you want to run for 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, you have to be honest and put on hard work.
So this is beautiful narrated, beautifully said, Pratyush. So in the backdrop, of course, so audience, you can't see the full picture. I'll certainly, while editing, I'll put the picture. So this is one of the, I think, stands of FusionStak and Cloud Gavel, where the team is presenting its features to people, to the potential customers. And of course, if you read what is written there, think forward, and every problem has a solution. So first of all, I think what Pratyush is said is very important. One has got to appreciate the problem, the pain points which customers are facing, and every person in this world has got some problems. It's just a matter of we identifying with the problem, and then we have to propose a solution in a manner that there is a building of trust. Customers will start believing that yeah, this person has got the ability and has got a solution which may work. And I think then things start, I think that's where things start becoming easy, and it's all about then consistency and taking actions, moving on. Great. Pratyush, I'm pretty sure you must be hiring many people for your organization in Pune, in Louisiana, in different parts of the world. And of course, I know for sure that this is a company which is going to grow only because this problem is not a small problem. It's actually a serious problem. And anybody who might be having some friends who might be in law enforcement departments, who might be knowing some policemen and from this department people, they know what problem we're talking about. So I think it's a great work which this company is doing. While hiring people, which are those few qualities which you look for? We can also talk about salespeople that you might be hiring or any IT professional that you might be hiring. Which are those qualities which you look for while hiring people? So, audience, in case somebody is looking for an opportunity in Fusion Stack, listen to this part of conversation very carefully. Go on, Pratish. Yeah.
Yeah, you said very rightly, Arun. It is so important to build a good team, because without a good team you cannot go far. Okay, you have to have a good team. So the important thing is when you're talking to the people is finding a good character. Okay, if you find a good character, then you can always train the expertise and technology and things like that. Okay,
Yeah.
I personally always measure my success or the success of the company is how long I can retain the employees. Okay. In
Mm,
today's world of everybody is having so much opportunities and everybody is growing, it is difficult to retain the employees. Okay.
yeah.
So I do everything possible to retain my employees. I'm proud to say that I have so many employees who are with me since they started. They are working with me. But some so we started in 2015. All of my key resources who started with me are still with me.
Wow.
So many key resources in India are still with me. So I thank them and I'm really proud of them. And it is so fulfilling to see somebody coming joining as a fresher in your company and then growing, and after 6 years managing a team of 15 people. That's it's all about, right? That is
Mm,
exactly all about. Okay,
mm,
so to answer your question, we look for character. The first important thing, we look for character, we look for commitment, we look for discipline. We are not looking for expertise, uh, because we believe if the people, if coming from doing the education, if
yeah.
you have gone through 4 year of education or 3 year
Wow.
of education and finishing your undergrad, that tells that you can learn. Okay, you
Mm,
can be
mm,
trained. Okay, so if you have that capability and you show good character, you are always welcome. Okay, you are always
mm,
welcome. We will teach. We always love to work with young people. We always anybody who is interested, who wants to work, we always would love to have them, because it is important to build a team. We
yeah.
always believe in teamwork. It's not easy to find good resources because we are a small company, and there are so many big companies in India. But whomever we find, we try to retain them as long as possible. And one important thing that everybody should understand, that any relationship, absolutely any relationship, it has to be mutual. Okay,
Mutual.
one way relationship does not work. Okay,
Mm, mm, mm.
so the relationship, the trust, if I am expecting the trust from my colleague and my employee, the same way they are expecting the same thing from the company. Correct. So
Absolutely.
it has to be mutually, it has to be both way street. It cannot be a one way street.
Mm, beautiful. I recall one of my, so I am thinking about my visit to your office in Pune. And I still remember many employees having come to me after the session got over, and then we were having some snacks and we were just chit-chatting with each other. Many employees came to me and they spoke of the fact that they have a boss. They were talking about you, who is a coach, who is a mentor, and who takes personal interest in people's problems. And I could connect that with what you said in the initial part of this conversation. You did say something, and this is important for your audience as well. Pratyush did say that put in hard work, start taking actions, start taking steps in case you still feel that. And of course, he said that there is, in all probability, you are going to succeed. But in case you still face some problems and failures, you can talk to me. So here is a person who is willing to spend his time to coach and mentor and guide people. And of course, you can make use of this statement, this thing which Pratyush said. You can send a message to me, because talking to the person who has actually done it has got a different value. It has got immense value. So you can
Sure.
certainly send a message to me, and I'll be happy to pass on your message to Pratyush. You can talk to him, and I'm pretty sure Pratyush is busy, but he can certainly take out some time to talk to you. Great. Pratyush, people talk a lot about leadership and this and that. So would you like to talk about some of these things which define a leader? And of course, character is something which is so, I think, is such an important quality which you spoke about. And that's the reason, audience, I'm pretty sure some of you, I think all of you can connect when I said that today's guest is a person who actually has been living some of these values which have been time tested. They were as valid thousands of years ago and as they are valid today. We are talking about focus, concentration, consistency, thinking, and hard work. And of course, he added this word called character, which is such an important quality. Would you still like to add to some of these qualities while talking about a
Sure,
leader?
sure. The and things are changing. Things are changing in India. But one important thing: don't be scared of failure. Don't be scared
Mm.
of failure. Okay.
Wow.
If you are scared of failure, you can never move forward in life. In I will say one thing in Hindi. Okay. वो हिंदी में एक कहावत है कि घुड़सवार ही जंग के मैदान में गिरते हैं. ठीक है.
गिरते हैं या
So if you're scared of riding the horse, you will not have the fun, and you can never go and fight a war. Okay. So
yeah.
do not worry about it. In India, the culture when we were growing up, Arun, the culture was different. That the failure was a taboo in the society. Correct. If you try to do something which is not the norm, if you did not get into good engineering college, if you did not get into the good medical college, you kind of fail. Okay. So
Yeah.
that was the culture way back. Now things are changing, and things are changing
Mm.
for such a great thing in India. You see a lot of startup coming up and everything. The whole thought process is people are embracing failure. Failure will
Mm.
happen when you are trying something. Failure will happen. Embrace
Yeah.
failure. Always get up and try again. Okay. So
Yeah.
do not be
Yeah.
scared of failure. If you want to do something which is different, you will fail. There's nothing wrong in that. There's absolutely nothing wrong in that. Not getting up and trying again, that's problem. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
Do not be scared of failure. Continue to do hard work, and success
Mm.
will come.
Absolutely. Very, very nicely said, Pratyush. Very, very effectively said. And while talking about ups and downs in life, Pratyush also spoke about the support, which is so important, which comes from, we are talking about the support from family. And I know Pratyush as a person, because the audience might have seen that, while watching this video, that I've been smiling all through while listening to Pratyush, because he has been a person who has been full of fun. I know him as a person who used to smile a lot, laugh a lot, crack jokes, and used to also play pranks with people, and still, I'm talking about engineering days when people, do a lot of things. Still, he was a person who was very deeply connected with his family. This picture is something which I wanted to share with the audience, because this picture says a lot. I don't want to say anything. It shows the connection that we are talking about. And I think Pratyush has already spoken about the power of this connection and with family, I think. So, audience, I think it's something which goes without saying. Having said that, I also shared in the beginning of this conversation that the things which are the simplest are often the things which are the hardest for people to do. And of course, we took the example of waking up early in the morning, which is important. Family is important. Often we get into things which are urgent, because you do not have an option. You have got to do the things which are urgent, but it's important. I know many people who will certainly pick up the call from their boss and colleagues, which is important, which is because just because it's urgent as well. But do not lose connection with your family. That's very important. Yeah, because that supports a lot. When things go downhill, that supports a lot. And I know, of course, we all have seen our life over last many decades. The support which we get from a spouse, the support which we get from family, and the energy which we get from our kids while talking to them, while playing with them, is priceless. It's something
Yes.
priceless. I think let's pay some attention to what we are talking about. It's important. Great. Pratyush, would you like to talk a bit about some of these people? Of course, you spoke about Inanaran Murthy, some people who inspired you in your journey, and some movies which you found inspiring. So people, movies, or places, whatever, which give you energy. You know, you feel like going back to these people and their messages or places or
Correct,
movies.
correct. Sports always gives me energy. Uh, uh, so I always, even watching the movie. Okay, whenever I am down, I am into sports now. I watch. I still watch cricket for sure, but I watch a lot of American football. Um, so whenever I down, I go to YouTube, find any close cricket game or a football game that we were supposed to lose, but we somehow won. Okay. I will block everything, watch them for 15 minutes to give the smile back on my face and say that anything is possible. Okay. So when you are playing a football, American football, here the coaches always says the game is for 60 minutes. So you have to play all 60 minutes. Anything can happen between the 59 minute and 60 minutes. Same thing with cricket too. It's like anything can happen till the last ball is bowled. Okay. I know we all are disappointed with the loss right now, but hey, that's a part of game. That's a part of life. You cannot win, you just cannot win. That's a classic example. Cricket match that India lost is a
Yeah.
classic example that you cannot win every day in your life. That does not mean you are not great or you're not good. Okay, it's important to take some time and regroup and come back. Okay, so sports always helps me. I love sports, all kind of sports. I still watch. Big fan of cricket. Now I do not get up 2 in the morning to watch, but I still watch.
Beautiful, amazing. So, audience, I think what Pratyush has said is very important. My personal recommendation to you, since this is a conversation, just to share with all of you, in case you get an opportunity, go to Netflix and check this one a documentary which is on David Beckham. It's known as Beckham. Watch it. It will tell you the story of a superstar player who actually was getting life threatening phases he has gone through, who actually used to be threatened by people. He was hated by people so much, especially during 1990s, that he used to get a feeling that people may kill me. You know, they used to abuse his family, his wife, his little kid, and every time people used to abuse him, he actually, and there is a story behind it. I think if you just watch, I don't want to kill the spirit and fun, go and watch it. Every time people used to abuse his family, he used to go and hit a goal, score a goal. And he has said that every time I used to hear people chanting and singing and shouting, I used to go and score a goal. And that is the time when I got this connection very strongly put in my heart and mind, that if there is one quality which actually differentiates people who do something which inspires the world, and which also inspires themselves and the rest of the world, it's the ability to come up. It's the ability to come up. And actually, they get inspired more with challenges. That's very interesting. That's the reason, of course, I didn't want to talk about my books for a change today. But let me share with all of you. That's the reason I always tell people that, and this became kind of second nature for me, second habit for me over the last few years. I found that when I wrote my first book, the title was tagline. I won't take much time just to share with you because we are on this topic. The tagline of this orange color book, the first book, is Adversity is the mother of transformation. Whenever challenges come, if you get this inspiration, and of course, I just an example, I'm not talking about me, because Pratyush and there are many people who are super inspiring, and the kind of work which he is doing is something which is very inspiring. I always have seen that this is one quality which differentiates people. The smile, the energy with which Pratyush is talking about this one quality, that failures are bound to happen, man. एंड गिरते हैं सवारी मैदान जंग में, और वो तिफल क्या गिरे जो घुटनों के बल चले। बॉस अगर उठ खड़े होकर चलना है, गिरने के लिए तैयार रहो। एंड मेजोरिटी ऑफ पीपल आर नॉट रेडी टू फॉल, दे ऑल वांट टू ride the horses, the beautiful cars, and they want to live in those nice beautiful villas, but they do not want to fall, boss. It's just not possible.
Yes,
Failure
it
is
is
going
not
to
possible.
happen. And Pratish, in this conversation, I must admit that you have not only inspired the audience, you've inspired me, because the way you very simply shared your thoughts and ideas, it's very inspiring. Pratyush, there is one question which I always ask people, And that is, and of course, I'm talking to a person who has been in US over last many decades, more than a decade. I need to be respecting time. It's not like I'm one thing. So it's already more than 1 hour. But this just last question: when and if, of course, it's going to happen when we write a book. It could be a movie as well. But when we write a book on your life and journey so far, what do you think would be the title of this book? This is my signature question. I need to ask you, and then we will.
That's a tricky one. I will say the title of the book will be is Success is Directly Proportional to Hard Work.
Wow. 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 We shall go back to our engineering, mechanical engineering days. Pratyush used to be one of the toppers in mechanical engineering, by the way. And of course, he made this transition from mechanical engineering to IT, which is awesome. MIS and the kind of work which he's doing. So success is directly proportional. We'll use that symbol, which reminds me, which takes me back to the days of B.I.T. Mishra, hard work. Awesome. Absolutely speechless. I think I don't notice anything because I would like audience to just take a pause. And of course, we have come to the fag end of this conversation. Just take a pause, take a deep breath in, sit in silence, and think about what Pratyush just said. And before that, he also spoke about ups and downs. These two qualities, if you have got, and of course, if you can tag it with some of the qualities which Pratyush spoke about, consistency and moving on, success is going to happen. And of course, he gave, I think, I used 2 thumbs up when he said that it's bound to happen. Luck also gets better as you start putting more and more hard work. Pratyush, thank you so much for inspiring. It's one of the most inspiring conversations. An audience who are just going to watch this video without saying anything, they will certainly concur with what I just said. Thank you so much for your time, Pratyush. Have a great, amazing Sunday, and it has been a pleasure and supremely inspiring pleasure for me to have you as the guest. Thank you.
Same here, Arun. You take care.
Thanks. Have a great day. Bye bye.